Okay, I'm Brother Jiming, and I came to the Bangkok Jewelry Center with you today. In fact, you may all know that the River Jewelry Center is Bangkok, that is Thailand. Before, it was a place rich in gems. There are so many red treasures and different gems. In fact, there are precious stones everywhere, but they used to be so high quality and beautiful. In the past, Thai red treasures were as famous as Burmese red treasures. They were so sharp. Of course, they were so scary. So if you find the real one at home, Guo Hongbao is actually in such a position as a nonsense novel that can be so expensive. Actually, what position is your search called JTC Jewelry Trade Center? This is the fence tied to the Holiday Inn in Bangkok Street. Actually, the economy is actually bad. What about jewelry sellers? In fact, there are fewer and fewer jewelry departments. In the past, it was easy to make money, so there was a place called the Jewelry Trade Center. Jerry, a Jerry Trade Center, would come forward and sell milk tea and some daily necessities. Why? In fact, it is different from before. But what about the area? In fact, they all sell jewelry. Besides this Jace Jewelry Chase Center, which center is it? In fact, there are many places selling jewelry. Okay, I'll go in and have a look. Where do you want to come first? In fact, I already have a feeling, just like going to a jewelry exhibition. 18K is for me, and I don't want to sell a confession. There are some different colors of sapphires. There are a few beautiful pink sapphires, orange sapphires, and the following colors are sapphires: Oppo, Roteline, Emerald. The ruby is big, but it is also written as hit or not hit, but these coffee tables are beautiful and look like Hainan Castle. In fact, there are all kinds of gems. In fact, the layout is just like a jewelry war. If you want to know how to buy it, you will come here to buy it. Of course, the price is so hard to tell. Attai's green treasures are stunning. It's beautiful and not beautiful, so there are some money in this club. Amethyst, dark amethyst, green and blue are topaz. It's so big, or processor's topaz. It's called Oppo, it's tight. Oppo has different shapes and fixed colors. It's dark. It's all Oppo. There are sorts, that is, it's picking. Oppo is the same way to pick. The people on the left hand don't want it. They are picking and picking them all the way. They are amethyst, a few large grains of paper essence, and some are over 100 calories. But amethyst is not too expensive. Precious gemstones. So, it's a big grain, but it's actually, and the precious stones at home are fried so sharply, you don't know when they will be fried with amethyst, but they are fine grains. What the hell is orange? Everyone has different colors. Sapphires are so beautiful. They are different gemstones. My green treasure is so beautiful and clear. I don't know if it is so beautiful that it is so light-colored and Colombian, but you are so beautiful that there are so many flaws. All green treasure is relatively crisp, so it is completely flawed. One series is very expensive, and the other series is fake, but looking at the pattern, it looks fake. It's so beautiful. I don't think it's a diamond. In fact, it's a sakon, that is. It's a man-made diamond. When I look down, it looks like CZ writes, CZ fake writes, so big yellow diamonds scare ruby. Let's talk about it. Red treasures can be artificially made. That is, to put it simply, they are fake worlds. Many years ago, why did I tell people all the time that it was not easy to buy fake diamonds? Actually, many years ago, there was a time when rubies and precious stones, when it can suddenly be created again, that is, when it is artificial. Many people just say, hey, what will happen after people buy rubies and sapphires in the future? Slowly, the situation is coming again. Ruby? Start manufacturing in large quantities. If you go to Taobao at home, you will start to talk about it. See the whole teapot of ruby come out. So, when you go to this situation, there are so many red treasures. In this world, the price of real rubies will drop. Facts have proved that this is not the case, but the ruby has been tight for 20 years. I wonder how much the price will rise. Synthetic diamonds, studio diamonds will only get cheaper and cheaper. This is a place where gems are sold, so it is called Jewelry Trade Center. But many people use these rainbow-colored stones to buy them. Will I make a chain, a ring, or something called a rainbow? It's all very happy. Emerald, in fact, is true at first look. It's like a pattern. When you see different colors and shapes, you will turn it over. That is, it is colored gemstones if you will turn it over a raw stone. It's the most suitable cutting. In fact, I click on the left ruler, and because I asked my grandmother to record and cut it, I need to approve the corner on the four sides to change into a bevel corner instead of a rectangular meter. I need to approve a corner when I click on the corner. In fact, because emerald is a very brittle substance, so easy to rot, so If there is a convex horn, the horn will collapse. If the tie is good, it will collapse easily. Just cut all the horns and collapse. So the result is, it's called Grandmother's Emerald Cut. This one is Jerry Trade Center. Thailand's gemstone industry is very developed because Thailand has its own mines that produce its own gemstones, but the industry is slowly. It will take one day after the mining meeting. It has already been made up for the production every day. That is, there are some good suppliers, which seem to be so fine, and some pointed crystals are tied to fine grains. The more and more they are getting slightly, and the stones are sold. So what about two tourists? If you know how to buy, buying here is flat. Of course, if you don't know how to buy, it will be flat. Of course, you have to use some skills. When I have the opportunity, I will talk about the techniques you use to buy gemstones. People think that you are an expert and you are just like a jewelry cutter. When you see it, you are actually home. That is, when it was booming in the past, there are so few jewelry stores, and my family has already gone to sell some fashion, but there are still some below. And this JTC is the Jewelry Trade Center, which I call the center mainly because there are many gems. Finished product? Of course, it's on the other side. Do you think there is a finished product? I just have it. Of course, I will know the finished product, but the main reason is that if you buy stones, it's okay to buy them. Explain the source of my words is not as good as the preface. In fact, you see so many experts here and shop around so often. I saw a ruby. I came to this store and asked how much it cost, but I didn't necessarily buy it. Go to the second store and ask how much it cost. Hey, you've compared the price. Even if you don't know it, If you don't know how to do it, you can compare it with each other. Don't ask more questions, just ask them at the same time and absorb more knowledge. If you add 2 rooms, you can't get 10 rooms. Well, what's the first thing? Seeing how long you have time to spare, that is. Sometimes you make jewelry, it's like this, a few Hainan treasures, and when you make jewelry when you are so expensive, you're just like this. In fact, you know, even if I'm so miserable, in fact, these departments are not cut and polished, unpolished, ruby, 2, green treasure, raw stone, I've seen it all. I've seen apatite. Opinions on a few stones. Apatite, in fact, the color is actually like a very expensive stone. It is called Palba Basil. Palba is very expensive, and the color of this one is like Priba. So people think that they can pretend to be Priba, but for Hong Kong people, they are actually not interested in Priba, so they may not be so famous. There are so many tutopus and so many beautiful colors, so they are okay, and they are abbreviated to pick stones. And after picking the stones, you can make your own support. Your own 2 rings are not expensive. I can say that they are added to fun, and Popeus is the most beautiful topaz. It is like the blue topaz of a lake. The topaz is the most beautiful, but in fact topaz is tied in a variety of colors, so it looks like orange. It's so pink. Hey, let me talk about this first. It's a Rao. It's so beautiful that you can do it. You can do hand exercises. Wow, there are so many pansifiers. I make different styles, but Hong Kong people may not be able to do it because it's too fine. For Hong Kong people, they may make some different styles. Hong Kong people like big grains, just because these cat noodles and dramas are not like sapphires. Look at the color. They look like tanzanite. There are many stones in Tanzania, but this one is tied. The blue ground color inside is just like Belaiba, but the department is also written. There are a lot of jade here. Actually, I have studied jade. But it's so jade. I don't even know what to say. Jade is the same as jewelry. The water system is so deep. Be careful. It's like a dungeon. In fact, there are many different colors. In fact, many of them are not open. In fact, the business is really numb. Go to the shop. People just put rings like this to show different gems and emeralds. That is, if you come to Bangkok, you really want to buy gems, but I really don't know how to weigh them, so I can't go to some jewelry shops to buy them. Go to jewelry trade. Wouldn't it be so frightened? I'll tell you many times, 9.5 of the 10 jewelry fraud cases were due to travel accidents. You went there and you were so happy after buying them. After buying it, I went to Hong Kong and got tired of it. Will you come to this place again and bite you again? For example, if you buy a stone for 1,000 mosquitoes, you think it's a good deal? Or if you think it's a good deal for 2,000 mosquitoes, will you be stubborn again because of the 2,000 mosquitoes? Don't you know how to do it? The air ticket is 2,000 mosquitoes. Tum Marine is so beautiful. Tumin Marine is a big site how beautiful it is, and the color is special. These big opal are so beautiful. After cutting the carbon, you can tell me about Oppo. If you like it, it's like a dream. Mars is so expensive. Oppo is big and buried together, so beautiful and transparent. It flashes together, so beautiful and changes color, but if it's not beautiful, just tie it to the bottom. It turns out that there are some moonstones and some flat stones, but I like moonstones very much. That is, they are so flat that I can play with them. I have to see a lot of Indians here. What about most gemstones in charcoal rods? Actually, they are all from foreign countries, such as Africa. In fact, I don't think it's necessarily an economic problem. They are also Thomas. But they don't even open a shop. They are stylish. It's really ugly because Alexandra has changed color. What about me? As far as I like gems and diamonds, I see too many gems. I like to see these gems. They are different from the progress style, big grains and beautiful MLO cuts. You have one before you see it. Hey, YouTube, I have a speech that's different. It's so clear. Is the Emir card flashing? Can you see it? It's so flashy, but it's because you can see the corners of the water terrain, but it's enough if you see the flashing reflections. Before I talked about the Millennium Doll, can you see it? There are many folds, many black faces because of Millennium Gong, but the family is no longer prosperous and the family is called Tangbao Mountain. What is it called, Tangbao Mountain? I don't even know that it looks like a candy, a bag and a mountain, so it's called Tangbao Mountain. The following place is called Sugarbao Mountain, which is like a pyramid. Alex first. Can you see you? Can you see you? Can you see it again? Can you see it? There is also a green color that will change color. This Alexander is so proud. There was a time when Alex was speculated in mainland China, and Bixi was speculated so hard that it suddenly collapsed. So after many people take over many hands, they lose a lot of money. Many people are afraid to weigh it. Blowing water actually has a special way to say it. In fact, gems are like this unless I open many YouTube, that is emerald, one YouTube, ruby, one YouTube, that is, unless it is like this, but it is actually very difficult to talk about it at once. Hey, I can talk about it again. Starlight can't be guaranteed. Can you see it at different angles? There is a star in the face, that is, it seems that there is a star in 3 rooms, so it is starlight. Why do you need to put a glass of water? Actually, it's because of the lights. Do that, so don't you know how to weigh it when you do it? So, there will be a glass of water in every rest cabinet. Ah, no, because I'm thirsty. In fact, it's really dry, so I have to put a glass of water. Pearls are all beautiful, but I have to talk about pearls and everyone has a pearl course. It may be half a year, but it's my reason to talk about pearls in a video. That is, you know it. That is, it takes time and slowly have time to talk about it one by one. Before talking about morganite, Tiffany talked about love. Love comes to commemorate. Is it similar to Morgan? Morganite magic gun is for sale. Tomarina is green. Let me see how much it costs to buy diamonds. In fact, making jewelry is like this. That is, you spend a lot of money to press some goods, but can you exchange some goods for money, but you can't exchange some goods for baked pork chop rice? But I want to eat pork chop rice at home, so why don't I do it? So you said most jewelers are so rich. In fact, to a certain extent, because there are so many goods. If some goods are valuable, no one may buy them at all. If you can't get money, order them when you want money. You can only sell them at a low price. The goods are like these. All the fakes are fake. You can see them at a glance. Just a face. I wonder if you have ever hoped for such a stone. The fake stone is scared. That is, when you look at it, it seems that there are some CDs reversed, but the CDs look at some different colors, blue and orange, and I don't know what. It feels like a rainbow color. It's fake diamonds. In fact, experts like me can see them at a glance. I'm joking. I don't use a machine to check. I saw it at a glance, so some people are so naive that they are saying to me, hundreds of mosquitoes for a ring, or thousands of mosquitoes for a ring, are scared of huge profits. In fact, it's completely not worth it, because I can see it at a glance, but I can't make a sound. Yes? Then you ask me, do you know if it's beautiful or not? You ask me if it's beautiful or not. It doesn't mean what I'm saying. Yes, I can't say that. I need to have public relations as a person. Oh. Every shop here is afraid that you sell fake stones, which are worth a lot of money. But in fact, your business department is really small, and you are so busy. How many mosquitoes? What does it look like? Like a jewelry exhibition. The Hong Kong jewelry exhibition is just about placing some stones and thinking, it's so good, so I'll let you all buy them. How much does it cost to steam these papers? 55 mosquitoes, US dollars. How many are 4 pieces of water? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 capsules. That is 4 mosquitoes and 1 capsule. So your words are worthless. Zhong has made a profit. 4 mosquitoes are a grain. This is a big grain. Paper steaming. 35 mosquitoes, 9.62 cards, 10 cards, 350 mosquitoes, 35 mosquitoes, 8, 324, that is 20,000 mosquitoes. One is so big, that is, it's expensive for me, it's really beautiful. There are gems of different colors. If you look at them, you can tell if there are any heated jewelry gems and appraisal beads for mainlanders to see. That is, I look at them, that is, I, an expert, will know them at a glance. These are collectible values and can preserve their value, so they are these. Instead of talking about the big ones at the beginning, they are really about preserving their value. Let's talk about the brand's beautiful gemstones. In fact, it's like that. These really beautiful gemstones will be very expensive, but you can't mass produce them. That is, it's like a heart shape. It's difficult for me to mass produce 1,000 pieces, 1,000 pieces, and 10 pieces. Is it so? So what if we do some big brand mass production systems? The reason for mass-produced microphones is that only these microphones can be mass-produced, so there is no need for beautiful gems. Of course, when using beautiful gemstones, it is not my ordinary people who can buy them. Your VIP is first served, so it can be mass-produced. What is it? It's the so-called Jerry Tray Center. So if you want to find a good stone, you will definitely find it, but it depends on whether your words are fair or not. If I let you listen to what I say, it will definitely be better than a little outside, or a jewelry store, or a big store. The shop can definitely be flat, but how flat can your words be? I need to check the strength of your teeth, bury your method, and bury your words so that you can listen to it. Most of the transactions only accept cash. Once I was genuinely happy. At home, Japan introduced hues that subtly transform colors, unlike any rainbow rings. Both hand training and neck training are scary. That is, most hand training will be more beautiful, and some of them can be used as earrings. They are so beautiful that they add value. What if a pile of sapphires looks like 100 a bag? In retail terms, if you can't sell it, how good it is. I can directly make a bracelet and a necklace. There are some experts who buy it. There are a lot of rough stones here. You can buy rough stones and grind them yourself. If you know how to grind, you can make a video next time. I am very resistant to grinding tin. That is, if you are really interested in grinding tin, you can tell me. I can grind some things together with you. It's not so comfortable. First of all, if it's much easier, that is, if you go home, you may go to Taobao to buy a grinding stone. After 4,000 or 5,000 mosquitoes, it's so possible to buy some pieces. That is, there are thousands or hundreds of mosquitoes. I don't know if hundreds of mosquitoes have to be found on Taobao. I don't know how difficult it is to play with grinding your feet. In fact, because the original color system is so flat, even because you have so many fire colors, the so-called beautiful gemstones are actually not because they are beautiful. In fact, you are all beautiful. In fact, it is actually because of the cutaway. So if you have time, or even you can see them online. Some people use some glass bottles, so you can cut into a gem whatever you order. They all have to be the same, but of course they are easy to break and break, so the hardness of gemstones is very important. So I always have a video that talks about the hardness of gemstones, because if you buy a pile of stones, even if you have a certificate, it is not a business. The red ones are coral. Many countries don't sell them. Oh, these topaz, some turquoise can be talked about again. There are some American pines and some Iranian worms. They are many different, that is, they are a gem. In fact, they are all a piece of knowledge. If you have the opportunity, you can talk about it, but of course, in fact, it's not so many people. What I like to say is bouldering. It's a relatively niche group. Look at this triangle. There are so many people. Hey, the lower left cabinet and the lower right corner are all pointed. Why don't you explain the top? A corner? It's all due to the same reason. That is, everyone has collapsed before, but the family has turned over because gems have sharp corners and are easy to collapse. I've talked about it before. There's a YouTube talk about. Hey diamonds, when you buy some with sharp cuts, you have to be careful. Diamonds are not easy to spend, but just because they are not easy to rot. So you have to be careful. If there are some, I have mentioned before, that is, if there are some flower marks and corners, you have to be careful. I have to help you practice and add a few good things. That is, it's usually scary because there are so many gems when you come and go. That is, if you don't like gemstones, you will feel boring. What's on the other floor? Hey, let's talk about this trade center. Do you think it's because there are too many Indians? Or because there are too many people in these brands? Is it all about eating such curry sauce, and turning it into a food court? Most of them eat curry, so they know that it's all normal. That is, they are diligent. especially for Indians. If you see precious stones and jewelry around, it's called appearing. No matter what, it's different. What about the exhibition? What about the trade center? My home is close to the upper floor. There are already many different shops and some sellers sell some shirts. There are so many rough stones here. Master polishing techniques and save big by self-refining. I feel like the rough stone is a raw feel. In fact, it's even better. If you look at the beautiful yellow paper crystal, I don't know what the crystal shirt is. Maybe you actually buy it. If you buy a car bed, you have to grind it yourself. In fact, you are all buying gemstone jewelry. Oh, there are so few jewelry shopping malls that mainly buy gemstone, which is called tenon. In fact, there are not many 10-cent ones to buy. The colors are so beautiful. There are bags for copying money and adding stones. Actually, it's not a Tencent line. Okay, this Cherry Trade Center has actually been finished. What's wrong? Half of them are open and half of them are open. Maybe it's related to the epidemic, or maybe the economy is not good. In fact, it's near a location and there are actually a lot of food sold in the house. It's about jewelry. It's diagonally opposite. It's like a building, it's tied. So they sell a lot. Other jewelry seems to sell some instruments. They all have some specialties and there are a few gemstones to buy. Maybe buying some is related to jewelry. And home can go down.